Hello, this will be the tutorial for lesson number 9 called Fancy Shapes Using Nested Loops. You will have to scroll to get there first. So it is lesson number 9. You can see that there are 13 puzzles and puzzle number 3 is actually a video. So we are going to work from number 1 to number 7, thereby completing half of the puzzles of this lesson. Let's begin with number 1. Says draw a triangle to kickstart this stage. Each side is 100 pixels long and you'll need to turn 120 degrees for each exterior angle. Click OK when you're ready. Now they do give you a 6 block limit, but I'm going to go ahead and start you off with doing something that you're going to have to do for every puzzle herein. And that is to begin each puzzle by creating the function, the program that will, the loop that will create that shape. In this case, let's go ahead and get a repeat loop. And in here, in the question marks, you're going to put in the number of sides that your shape has. A triangle has 3 sides, so please include the number 3 there. Now, there are only 2 blocks that are necessary, a move block and a turn block. In this case, we will use a move forward by 100 pixels and a turn right by 120. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the function. So even though this program did give you a 6 block limit, I'm asking you to get in the habit of writing this little program here inside of a loop that will create your shape. Go ahead and run it. That's it. The reason I wanted you to do that is because, again, you're going to have to do that for each of these puzzles herein. Therefore, let's go ahead and begin here. You do have a block that is called set color, random color, and we're going to use this in just a moment. But I want you to get in the habit that for every puzzle here, the very first thing you want to do is write the program for the basic shape that you're trying to achieve. In this case, this is a series of triangles. Well, we already know what the program is for a triangle, so let's go ahead and do that. Begin with a loop, put in the number of sides that a triangle has, which is 3, put in your move block, and a turn by 120 degrees. We're just going to leave that as turn left and make sure that that is a triangle. And it is. Now, if we add the set color, random color block, and if we put this inside in the first position, that means that this triangle will have different colored sides like this. Every single side will be a different color. There is a different position that we can put that block in, but I think that's acceptable for now. All right, the next thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that in the puzzle, before we ask him to draw another triangle, we need to have him turn slightly. Let me show you what I mean. If we have him do this, the exact same program for a second triangle, like this, with a 3 and a move forward and a turn left by 120 degrees, if we simply have him do this, both of these triangles will be right on top of one another. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the speed all the way down because I really want you guys to see that if we simply put these 2 loops next to each other like this, both triangles will simply be on top of one another. Here we go. Here's the first one. And here comes the second one. So what do? Well, we're supposed to ask her to do something after she draws the very first one. And in this case, we're going to add a turn right by 60 degrees and then ask her to draw another one. In this way, the triangles will not overlap. They will not be on top of each other. She will draw one, then she'll turn slightly before she begins drawing the next one. Let's go ahead and put the speed back to where it was earlier and run it again. Very good. Let me try it again because I don't like those colors. They're not dark enough yet. So here we are. We have drawn 2 of them. We're just going to go ahead and repeat this process until she has completely drawn all 6 of the triangles. And by the way, notice that I am at 8 blocks right now. When I add the color block, that number stays at 8. So you feel free to use the random color block. It will not add numbers to your total blocks in your program. So far there are 2. I'm just going to go ahead and repeat by making him turn again, and then adding the third triangle. I'm just going to repeat the exact process, the exact same blocks that are already there. Here's the third triangle. And turn by 60. Oh, I didn't grab it. Turn by 60 again. Here's the fourth triangle. You can see that our program is getting rather long. Nothing wrong with that, as long as it works by the time we're done. And we do have a 24 block limit. But if you are noticing that this is rather long, there is actually a good reason for that. Here is the fifth triangle, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this fifth one and run it and make sure that I didn't make a silly mistake somewhere. And the random color block, and I'm going to put that in the first position there, and we should end up with 5 triangles so far. Second one, third one, fourth one, and fifth one. So we just need the last triangle. So turn by 60, repeat loop, 3 sides, move forward, turn left. And this is the 6th triangle, and notice that we are at 24 out of 24 blocks. And there we are. Click continue. Rather long program. Now this video is about nested loops. Now you did notice how long our program was just a moment ago. Well, this video will talk about how to make that program even shorter with nested loops. Let's go ahead and click continue. Please watch that when you have a moment. So we're being asked to draw the exact same shape as we did a moment ago, but in this case, instead of using 24 blocks, they want us to use 6. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and create the program for the first triangle along with the turn. So do this with me again. How many sides to a triangle? 3. Set color random color, since that does not affect our total number of blocks. There was a move forward by 100 and a turn left by 120, and then there was a turn by 60 degrees. Run it. There we go. So this is just one triangle, however, and we're already at 5, and we can only use 6. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this, which does one triangle and one turn, and we're going to put it inside of another loop. We are going to nest this loop inside of that one. This is called a nested loop. Now the number that goes, the number 3 refers to the shape itself and how many sides it has. But when you put this entire shape inside of another loop, the number that goes here is the number of total shapes. And in this case, there are 6. So put the number 6 in here. That brings us to a total of 6 out of 6. And we get the exact same shape. Now, don't you wish that we had known this for puzzle number 2? In puzzle number 2, you really do need to make it the long way. For puzzle number 4, you get to learn how to do it the short way and then move on to the next one. Here's puzzle number 5. Same as before, we always begin by creating the program for the first basic shape. And the basic shape here is a square, so let's start there. How many sides does a square have? It has 4. And there are only 2 blue blocks that we need, just like the triangle. We need a move block, and we need a turn block. And in this case, we're going to use a turn left. Now, your job is to run this program and verify that that does, in fact, draw a square. You're going to notice something wrong, but right now we're just checking, does it draw a square? And it does. It just happens to be a really, really large square. The reason it drew such a large square is because we're asking him to move forward by 100 pixels. So let's take a look up here in the directions. It says the windows are 20 pixel squares. So we need to change this number 100 to 20. Run it again. And there we are. That is the shape that we want. So now that we know this, what would happen? Please remember what happened with the previous program. If I just add another loop and ask him to draw another square, well, both of those squares are just going to be on top of each other. You can also see in the program here, if he just starts drawing another square, it's just going to be in the same spot. So what we want is for him to go from here to here before he starts drawing the next square. Well, I know that this line is 20 pixels, and here it tells me that they're each 20 pixels apart, right there. So from here to here is 20, and from here to here is 20. So that's a 40 pixel distance. And we're going to ask him to jump. Please make sure that you're using the block that has the word jump by 40. So all we're looking for is this. We're looking for him to draw the square and then jump to the next spot before he can draw the next square. Let's see if we did it correctly. And we did. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your entire program for one square and moving to the next location that he needs to be. We are at 5 out of 6 blocks. We're going to take this entire program and nest it inside of another loop. Nest that right there. Now remember, the number that goes in the outer loop is the number of total shapes. And in this case, we have a total of 8. So make him do that 8 times. I'm going to make this go a little bit faster and do it again. Very good. Click continue. Great. Do the same thing with these circles. Each circle is made by moving 1 pixel before turning 1 degree 360 times. So these are your 3 pieces of information that you need in order to be able to draw one circle. Each circle begins just 50 pixels from where the last one ended. So we're going to make him draw one circle, and then we're going to make him move 50 pixels to the next location before he does this. So begin by getting a loop. We're going to make him do it 360 times. So 360. And we're going to ask him to move. It says right here, move 1 pixel. So change this to a 1 and turn 1 degree. We're going to make him turn to the left. And it already says 1 degree. Now, if they aren't lying to us, this should produce a circle. Let's see. So he's drawing one tiny little line and then turning left by 1 degree before drawing the next line. And he does that a total of 360 times. Now, before he can begin drawing the next circle, he must move from this position to this position. So we need him to jump, and it tells us here 50 pixels from where the last one ended. So change this to 50. So he should draw the first circle and then jump to the next spot. Let's see if it works. And it does. Now he is definitely ready to draw the next circle. We are at 5 out of 6 blocks. Your job is simply to have him repeat all of those steps, a total of however many shapes there are. And there are 4 circles, so make him do this 4 times. You notice that we haven't added the color yet. Let's go ahead and do that now. You can add this block anywhere in the program you want. It's not going to give you the same result every time, but I'm going to go ahead and put it here under the number 4. And the reason I'm doing that is that so each circle will be the same color. If I were to put it inside the right under the number 360, then every single little line would be a different color. And you are more than welcome to try that if you want. Let's go ahead and run it. This is a mathematical puzzle, however, please be aware that the number of degrees inside of a circle is actually 360. And that's why it takes as long as it does. Go ahead and click continue. Here is puzzle number 7. This will be the last puzzle for this tutorial. Same as before, do you remember what the program was for drawing a circle? Of course you do. We had the number 360. We had a move forward by 1 pixel, and we had a turn by 1 pixel. And the difference was the jump block. Now I'm going to go ahead and leave that there for now because we don't quite know exactly what has to happen yet. Verify that this does in fact draw a circle. And we're not worried about the different colors quite yet. Now from here, before drawing the next circle, he needs to move to the next location. Let's see what the directions say here. It says, what happens if you also turn 90 degrees between circles? So a moment ago, we simply asked him to jump by 50 pixels to the next location. Now they're asking, what if we also ask him to turn by 90 degrees, like this. So add the 90 degrees, so he's going to turn and then jump. Let's see where that leaves him. Will he be ready to draw the next circle somewhere else? Looks like it looks like he does. However, it looks like he's in the wrong, the circle will be drawn in the wrong direction. Let me see this. Actually, no. Let's make this a left. No, that's not going to work either. Let me try that. Yeah, definitely was supposed to be a turn to the right. Maybe switch those instead. Much better. Well, now the only thing that we need to do is to take this entire program and put it inside of a loop. And we're going to do a number 4 since there are 4 squares. Put that in there, run it again, and then we'll worry about where to put the color block. You are more than welcome to put the color block in at the beginning of your work. I am more concerned with making sure the program works properly. All right, so it looks like we've got it. I'm going to go ahead and pause it here. We're going to go ahead and grab the set color, random color, and I'm going to put it under the number 4. You are welcome to put it anywhere in your program. Your result will be different than mine, but you will have color. All right. And as I mentioned before, this will be the last puzzle of this tutorial. So please do not click continue. I want you to click replay. At this point, your job is just to make sure that puzzles 1 through 7 are bright green. And when that happens, you are more than welcome to close code. Thank you.